Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just jump right in with a quick question. Have you ever wondered why buying a simple phone charger online feels like an absolute breeze, like a genuinely amazing experience, but buying a pair of shoes online often ends up feeling incredibly stressful? You know, the kind of stress that usually ends with you returning a pair that looked great on screen but actually looks like it belongs in a circus once you put them on. Why does the exact same process feel so wildly different depending on the actual item? Well, we're going to answer that today by looking at the hidden mechanics behind how we buy things.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll uncover the core shopping paradox. Then, we'll break down online systems as the effort reducer, followed by in-store systems as the uncertainty reducer. After that, we'll uncover some of the hidden trade-offs, and finally, we're going to give you a solid framework to choose wisely.
All right, Section 1, the core shopping paradox. Same goal, different way. It's kind of fascinating, right? Because whether you're swiping through an app on your couch or walking through the automatic front doors of a shop, you are ultimately trying to solve the exact same human problem, getting the right item with the least possible pain. It's the exact same goal, but the design to get you there is completely different.
So, the crucial point is this core shopping rule. Online shopping reduces effort, while in-store shopping reduces uncertainty. And honestly, that one single sentence explains so much of what you feel as a buyer. The real question we should be asking ourselves isn't, well, which mode of shopping is objectively better? That's the wrong question. It's actually, what specific type of friction am I trying to avoid right now?
Moving on to Section 2, online, less effort, the effort reducer. Let's really deconstruct exactly how online shopping operates as this ultimate effort reducer, because online shopping isn't really a physical space at all. It's essentially a screen-based search and matching system. To really wrap your head around this, think about the difference between reading a menu and actually tasting the meal. Online shopping effectively compresses the entire physical world into symbols. We're talking photos, specs, bullet point descriptions, star ratings, and look, that is incredibly efficient for searching and filtering through vast amounts of information, just like a menu helps you quickly decide what you want for dinner. But of course, reading a mouth-watering description of a burger is definitely not the same as taking a bite out of it.
The true, unbelievable power of those digital symbols really comes down to market access. Everyday mainstream items? Sure, they fit perfectly in a physical store. But online shopping effortlessly connects you to this massive, vast, long tail of highly specific, totally niche items. Things that a physical store simply doesn't have the shelf space or the foot traffic to justify stocking. You essentially gain access to a nearly infinite inventory, and you don't even have to leave your living room to browse it.
But because you can't literally touch these long-tail items, you have to rely on a completely different kind of trust. Trust online isn't localized. It's distributed across a whole bunch of different digital signals. You're constantly analyzing user reviews, looking for those 5-star ratings, checking how generous the return policy is, and banking on the reliability of the delivery network. You are fundamentally trusting the information to stand in for reality. Which brings us to Section 3, in-store. Less doubt, the uncertainty reducer. Now things work completely differently out there in the physical world. Instead of relying on symbolic information or trying to decode reviews, in-store shopping turns the act of choosing into an act of direct physical inspection.
In a store, you literally become the testing environment. You are using your own physical senses as the testing equipment. Just think about picking out fruit at a farmer's market, right? You don't read a PDF spec sheet about a peach, you just pick it up, you feel the weight of it, you check the color, maybe you smell it. In-store shopping grounds us firmly in reality, allowing our hands and our eyes to just immediately eliminate any ambiguity.
Now, contrasting that with the online world we just talked about, physical trust isn't scattered across a dozen different digital metrics. It is concentrated entirely in that one specific moment of personal inspection. You trust what you can directly see and touch. You trust the verbal explanation from the human being standing right in front of you. And you trust the physical, concrete presence of the store itself.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact difference. Just imagine you're buying a used bike. If you buy it online, you have to put all your faith into what? Some photos, a couple of paragraphs from the seller, maybe some comments. But in store, you just walk right up to it, spin the tire, and squeeze the brakes. You immediately hear and feel if that bike is solid. It's the exact same purchasing decision, but it requires two completely different systems of trust.
All right, Section 4, the hidden shopping trade-offs. Where exactly is the burden? Because look, neither of these systems is perfect. They don't magically remove risk entirely. Instead, they just shift the burden around. Online convenience feels super easy on the surface, but actually, it shifts all that hard work straight into your head. You have to interpret whether a photo's lighting is misleading or try to figure out if a glowing review is actually from a real person, and that's mental fatigue. On the flip side, in-store certainty demands physical travel, tired legs, dealing with traffic, and honestly, the incredibly frustrating reality that you might get there and find they have a very limited selection of what you actually wanted.
And hey, there is also the hidden cost of time. In-store shopping aggressively compresses fulfillment. You decide you want something, and boom, within 5 minutes of making your choice, the item is yours. It's in your bag, you have immediate closure. Online shopping, however, stretches that decision timeline way out. You make the actual decision on minute 1, but then you enter this painful waiting period. It ships on day 2, maybe it gets delivered on day 4, and waiting is absolutely its own unique form of friction.
Okay, our final section, Section 5, How to Choose Wisely, Diagnosing Your Needs. The whole goal here is to take you from just sort of reacting to whatever feels easiest in the moment to actively diagnosing your shopping needs based on how these two systems actually work.
Say you're choosing an everyday work bag. If your absolute top priority is finding one that specifically fits a 15-inch laptop and has to be perfectly water-resistant, online is your best bet for sure. It filters all those tiny specs instantly. But if your priority is knowing exactly how those shoulder straps are going to feel when the bag is loaded with heavy gear, or knowing how sturdy that zipper actually feels in your hand, you absolutely need the in-store system for that.
Let's see how this all builds into a sort of ultimate diagnostic grid. If your main question is about availability and range, online helps you cast the widest net. If your question is about judging physical fit and feeling, well, in-store is going to help you answer that definitively. Having this grid gives you a really clear mental model. It matches the type of decision and the type of risk to the correct shopping system. So you're no longer just asking, where should I shop today? You're asking, which system is specifically optimized for this exact decision?
So I want to leave you with this final, honestly pretty powerful question to ask yourself the very next time you're about to open your wallet. Just ask, do I need broader search right now, or do I need deeper certainty? Master that one question, and I promise you, you'll literally never approach a purchase the same way again. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy shopping.